I'm Salona Carlisle, and this is another edition of the Everyday Bliss for the Modern Woman weekly transmissions, created for the woman who is wildly devoted to choosing herself and living her desired life now instead of waiting until later. Sometimes we're just moving too fast for our desires to be able to actually reach us. Sometimes it's more obvious in the speed at which we're moving through our days that can so easily become a blur. Other times it's more subtle in the undercurrent of anxiety, pressure, and urgency that creates this kind of restlessness that's always running in the background. And oftentimes it's both. It's running on both of these levels. So I invite you to consider, what if more slowness, more spaciousness, more stillness were the answer to the question of why they're not here yet? Your desires, I mean. What if your willingness to go deeper inside of yourself than you've ever gone before was the direct route to the destination that you've been rushing to get to? What if less really was the more in this case? Less effort, less striving, less improving, less reaching, less seeking, less leaving the now to become what you believe you're not already. What if the less is actually all that is required? Because it's what leaves the space open for all that you're craving and believing you have to keep chasing and bettering yourself to be worthy of, to finally come flooding in. The only question then is, will you let yourself rest for long enough to recalibrate and to bask in your essence and to find that pace of your essence? I know it's not easy. Believe me, I know this so well, because this has been one of my biggest growing edges, having grown up as a competitive ice dancer in a world in which good enough was a perpetually moving target, and where the answer was always to try harder, dig deeper, keep pushing. In a world where my worth and value felt inextricably linked to my performance, and there was no room for error or rest for the weary, where perfection wasn't even an option because you could always do better. Which is why I'm so in love with the work I get to do with my clients, in guiding them on their journey back to wholeness and showing them another way to be in their bodies and their lives that is so much more self-loving and self-honoring and fulfilling. One that is inspired by pleasure and desire rather than pressure and duty. And one that is guided from a much deeper source of wisdom within. And the shift they get to experience is that they stop missing out on their lives and they start creating them with so much more intention. And they no longer feel the need to be in such a rush to get to a more beautiful moment over there, because they've become more devoted to living their most beautiful life where they are. So here's what I want to leave you with. When you know how to choose yourself, prioritize your nourishment and joy, and to truly relish in and savor the journey, instead of just holding out for that someday when outcome, when you will finally give yourself permission to do so, something in your soul is set free. And I guarantee you will wonder why you waited so long. Thank you so much for listening. If you'd like to learn more and receive my free ecstatic feminine embodiment meditation, go to slowness.com. I offer a variety of ways into this work. So if you know you want to dive deeper into living more everyday bliss and becoming that woman who is wildly devoted to living her desired life now instead of later, you can also request a free consult at slowness.com/discover. And together we can find the perfect way into this work for you.